Welcome back to Taco Potato Mustang. What's up? I'm Matt. So if you watched my most recent video on the Fox body, you know that I was trying to trace the cable that runs from the alternator to the starter solenoid. Because the cable that I do have, this one, did not come with an inline fuse or whatchamacallit, a breaker, I think. Yeah, I needed something that has a breaker or an external fuse or something like that, because apparently someone who had the car before me did the alternator upgrade, but they did not upgrade the cable that runs from the alternator to the starter solenoid, as far as I can tell. So this came in the mail today. It is a SR Performance standard power wire kit, and it has the little fuse mega something, this plastic box in the middle, and then the cable appears to be long enough that I should be able to run it from the alternator around the front bumper or the front apron, whatever you want to call it, to the starter solenoid, probably route it behind the battery. So see if that works out. Also got a couple of spray bottles, picked these up yesterday or the day before, sometime, I don't know. But I'll be able to use those to mix some of the stuff I need for the Pour 15 kit to tackle some of this rust. So here we go. So I just got the one end of the cable disconnected right here from the alternator, but you can see that there's some tape wrapped around this, connecting it to some other wire that runs and I'm wondering if I need to remove the tape. I don't know. My biggest concern is is where it splits off to maybe the headlight. I just want to make sure I'm not messing anything up with that. So I got some of this electrical tape off, and it looks like the alternator cable, power cable, is black and orange, and then the other wires are yellow and green, so I'm not sure yet what they go to. So I did figure out, I think I figured out, it seems like this green cable here is the one that somehow it like connects with the orange and black alternator power cable thing. And there's also this other wire that I'm not sure what it does, but I've been slowly making my way from the alternator cable in front of the radiator. It's taken a while. I'm trying not to break anything, and there's a shitload of electrical tape. Update time. So it's like a few days later, and I am now getting some time to work on the alternator cable issue, or at least follow up on this. I've got some updates based on some messing around on the forums and getting some input from some people who are smarter than me. So let's see here. So in case this wasn't already mentioned, apparently the alternator that I have is what's called a 3G, which is an upgrade over the factory alternator. And whoever did the upgrade did not do the upgraded cable. So this is like a MacGyvered fucked version of the previous cable, or of the factory cable that was supposed to be used with the factory alternator. So that's why I need to use this to replace the cable. Okay, so, and according to some of the guys on the forums, it's good that I'm doing this because the cable wasn't upgraded, there would be potentially a risk of a fire, which we don't want to fucking fire. Okay, so then following up, let's see. So this yellow wire that also runs from the alternator, apparently this, where it has this like rubber thing, after this part there's what's called a fusible link. And then this, so this black and orange part is part of the MacGyver cable factory, whatever. And then the part where it turns green is also attached to the starter solenoid on the same place where the new alternator cable will be attached. So apparently the yellow wire is a battery 12 volt sense wire for the alternator. I have no idea what that means, but according to smart people on the forums, I need to cut the brown wire here, and then I will add a ring terminal similar to this, and then I can completely get rid of the black and orange MacGyver shit cable. And then I will, once I have the ring terminal on the yellow wire, I will connect it to the starter solenoid along with the new alternator cable. But before I do that, since I have all these wires sort of out of the way, I should probably try to make some progress on the rust using the port 15 kit. And then once I get that done, I can route the wires from the alternator to the starter solenoid, get them wrapped in some wire loom and reattached to the apron behind the radiator, and then eventually put the battery back in and start the car. So gonna try and make some progress now. Speaking of wire loom, this is wire loom that I might be able to salvage, but look at all this fucking tape. Holy shit. All that is tape that was pulled from the wires that run between the alternator and the starter solenoid. That's a lot of tape. So I just sprayed some degreaser from the port 15 kit on the rusted areas underneath the battery tray right there. And I'm waiting for it to set in, and then I'm going to rinse it off, and then I'm going to focus on the metal prep. So I'm now waiting for the port 15 metal treatment kit, or whatever the hell it's called, to dry. I just had it, started putting it on the spots that I'm going to paint over about 30 minutes ago, and then I just kept applying a little bit to keep it wet over the last half an hour, and now I just gotta wait for it to dry, and then I can start putting on the actual Pour 15 like treatment cover or whatever, paint, the stuff that comes in a can and is gonna cover the rusted spots. So, correction, I'm actually waiting for it to dry after spraying water on the areas where I just put the metal treatment. I forgot about that step, but I did. I sprayed water down, or sprayed water on the spots where I had just put the metal treatment, and now I gotta wait like however long it takes for that to dry before I put the Pour 15 on. I'm not doing any sort of like tutorial on this shit because I have no idea what I'm doing or how to instruct somebody else to do it. I followed a guy also on YouTube called Hiker J, and he did a video like kind of tutorial on using the Pour 15 kit on his Jeep. So if you're looking for more instructional guidance on doing a kit like this, I would definitely check that out. Coat of the Pour 15 on, and now I'm gonna wait, I don't know, maybe a few hours before I put a second coat on. So it's not the prettiest, but hopefully it does the trick in terms of making sure the rust doesn't expand or whatever. It's raining today, which may be okay. Anyways, I let the car sit on the first coat of Pour 15 overnight, and I'm gonna put another coat on now. In unrelated but also awesome news, I got my new Fox body shirt from Blip Shift, and it included +5 horsepower sticker. I just gotta figure out where to put that. I don't wanna get Pour 15 on my new shirt though, so time to change. Coat on. Now I'm gonna let it sit for a while. Hopefully that does what it needs to do. So I feel like once again I've sort of accomplished some things, but not a ton to report back finalized. I do have a few things coming in the mail. I ordered a ring terminal so that I can get the yellow wire from the alternator to the starter solenoid, and I am going to probably do at least one more coat of Pour 15 on the wheel well side, and then I'm gonna start working on it's covered up with cardboard right now, so I didn't get any chemicals yesterday, but I'm gonna start working on more on this so I can do the Pour 15 on this side. And then also I need to get the fender well protector that goes right here cleaned up so I can eventually put that back in. Although now that I'm saying that, I'm gonna try and get a torch this week so I can get this screw out of the horn bracket unstuck and try to mount both the horns back up and see if they both function when plugged in. And if I can do that, then I can get I'll have the horns mounted and functioning. I'll put the wheel well protector back in. I'll put the wheel on, and I can get the car off the jack and jack stand. And then once I get the Pour 15 done underneath the battery, I can reconnect the alternator, put the battery back in, put the intake back in, and hopefully start the car, take it for a drive. Yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching. I can't speak. Thanks for joining me on another slow and steady progress type video on the Fox body project. Yeah, if you're new to my channel and you like my videos, please subscribe. If you are interested in checking out some of my photos and stories from my travels, please check out my website, TacoPotatoMustang.com. I'm also on Instagram, Taco Potato Mustang. Anyways, hope you're staying safe, hope you're staying healthy, hope you're staying sane. Peace out.